thanking John for inviting me to speak here. Like John said, we met in India, and he said he had this Bless Fest gathering, and if I would like to come. And I'm glad to be here. It's a beautiful venue, and I hope not to be following John and his stories. This could be, I don't want to put everybody to sleep, so I'll try to tell some stories myself rather than an academic talk. I'm supposed to talk on a subject called non-dual Vedanta. Has anybody ever heard of Vedanta? Non-dual Vedanta? So, for those who haven't, non-dual Vedanta is the oldest wisdom tradition in India. Nothing predates it. It's the oldest philosophical tradition. It's in the Upanishads, and the oldest Upanishads are dated maybe 600 to 800 BC. That means before the Buddha, before Mahavira, before Zoroastra, before any other Indian tradition. This non-dual wisdom tradition has been passed down to this day. There are people that this is the very basic of Indian spirituality. So what I'd like to do is share with you, if you're interested in Eastern philosophy and spirituality, what I take to be the basic idea of the whole thing. Why I think it's extremely unique in what it has to say, and why I think it's appealed to so many people for over 2,500 years. Vedanta itself, the word Vedanta is made up of two words, Veda, which refers to the scriptures that they have in India. Anta means the end. This is the end of all the scriptures. The highest teaching of India is contained in the Vedantas, which are the Upanishads. And so what I'd like to do is to say, first of all, this teaching is not religion. There's no theology here. Certainly no dogmatic theology as in the Abrahamic religions or any other religion where you have to believe something, have faith in something, wait till you die to find out something. This has nothing to do with that, and I'll try to explain why. So exactly what it is, in order to share this, you'll have to examine what is being claimed. Let me say what is being claimed first. Maybe some of you have heard of an expression, Sat Chit Ananda. Yeah? So there is this one reality that's described in the Upanishads. They call it Brahman, or the Absolute, and it's described as Sat, existence, Chit, consciousness, and Ananda, bliss. But it has very peculiar meanings in the Upanishads, because when we say something exists, the drum exists, this tent exists someplace at some time, but this existence, if you can conceive of it, is an existence that's not in time or space. Existence not in time or space is called Sat. Chit is consciousness, but not like I'm aware of you now, and so I'm conscious. The word Chit means consciousness with no object. Pure consciousness, bereft of all objects, is called Chit. That's not in time or space. Sat, Chit, consciousness without an object. And that reality is called Ananda, or bliss, because there's no second thing that you could fear. There's no second thing in it that you could desire. There's no second thing that could limit you. It's the bliss of non-duality. It's not caused by something. It's the very nature of that reality is bliss. So This is the claim, that there's a reality like that. But that's not of much value to us, because so what if there is? But the second unique teaching of the Upanishads is that non-dual reality, which is beyond time and space, which was never born, it doesn't get old, it doesn't get sick, it doesn't die, that reality is who you are. The expression in the Upanishads is Tat Tvamasi. You are that every one of you, your true nature, who you really are, is that. That's the second unique thing. They're both unbelievable. How could there be something beyond time and space? How could I be that? And the third unique point is this: that non-dual, unchanging, unborn, ever-shining reality is who I am, but who I am is not this person who I think I am. Each one of us has an idea about ourselves. If I were to ask you, who are you? You would naturally tell me, I'm so-and-so. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I live in this, I'm a teacher, I'm a father, I am this body, for sure. I was born, I'm getting old, I'm getting sick, and I'm going to die. I am this, and this is mine. My house, my money, my children. This is mine, and I am this. This is the idea everybody has about themselves. I'm a knower, I know things. I'm a doer, I do things. And I'm an experiencer. I experience happiness and sorrow and cold and heat. And so this is who I am. Well, this Upanishadic teaching says this: if every one of you right now were to examine your experience, the claim is that idea about who you are, I am fat, I am thin, I am happy, they're all thoughts, they're all mental phenomena that are objects to you, that this ego, this I notion, appears to you. I'm blind, I'm driving my car. That I is constantly changing because it's an object. An object to who? Who sees the I? You have to examine your own experience. This is not religion. It's just pointing out a fact that's common to everybody. That thing in you that's aware of your thoughts, every emotion, every perception, every mental phenomena, including the ego, you're the witness of those. That witnessing consciousness in you is that self, that Satchitananda, that's always present. You can't think it away. If you try to negate it, you'll negate everything except that. It's always there with every thought. It's not only lighting up every thought. This is the harder part. It's lighting up the whole waking state. That witness, in that witness, this whole waking state is appearing to me, the witness. And in that state, all of these people are appearing, my friends, my strangers. And in that state, this thing is appearing, and even this ego is appearing. The whole thing is an object to me. Now that might be hard to intuit. So it's easier if you examine your dream experience. Everybody dreams, and as soon as the dream appears, the whole dream world appears. You appear to be in the dream, and you see a tiger with your dream eyes, and you tell your friend, hey, there's a tiger, and you're running. The time, the space, you're the witness of the whole dream. It doesn't appear to anyone else but you as the witness. Your waking state also appears to you. Nobody else. Nobody sees your waking state. And in that waking state, the waking ego, the waking time, the waking space, you're the witness of the states. So you can't, when the dream appears, there's no waking. As soon as the waking appears, there's no dream. But that consciousness, which is always there, lighting up both the states, that's the unchanging consciousness that's always present. When the state is there, it's shining. When the state disappears, we call that deep sleep. I'm not aware of anything. I'm not aware of anything. You remove everything. You're still that same awareness that knows I'm not aware of anything, but I'm awareness. I'm aware when I'm aware of something, and I'm aware when I'm not aware of anything. That unchanging awareness is the only reality. That is your true self. It's Satchitananda. If you can see that, then you can see that everything that everybody is looking for. I want to be happy, but my nature is eternal happiness. I don't want to die, but I am immortal, not in time. I don't want to be limited. I'm eternally free. There's no second thing to limit me. That's my nature. You can recognize this in your own. This is not raising your kundalini. There's nothing coming out of your head here. You don't have to have any mystical experience. It's lighting up every experience at all times. It's not any special experience. Every mental state is lit up by that witnessing consciousness, but we never take note of it. There's a reason for it. Because the seer of seeing can't be seen. The knower of knowing can't be known. Whatever you think of is not it. That witness is not red, it's not blue, it's not big, it's not small. Whatever you think of, you're the witness of that thought. It's inconceivable, imperceivable, ungraspable, unknowable as an object. You have to intuit it as your own self. I am that. I am that ever-present reality. It's not a religious belief, and it's not a mystical experience. It's everyone's common experience. If you're willing to just examine your own common right now experience, you'll see that everything that you've been looking for, the spiritual path, is recognizing this truth, that I am that happiness, immortality, bliss, freedom. I'm going to tell a story now so that I don't lose everybody. It's a traditional story. It exemplifies what I've been trying to say here. It's a little bit of a funny story, but it'll make the point. There was a guru, and he had 10 students, and he points to the 10th man, the head guy, and he says, I'm putting you in charge of these 9 other guys. I want you to go south. There's a beautiful temple. I want you to have darshan. You see the deity, and you come back and you report to me, and you're in charge. Don't let anything go wrong. The head guy says, no problem, Guruji. I'll take care of it. And they head off, and they go to the south of India. They go to the temple. They see this beautiful Ganesha there, and they have darshan, and then they're on the way back. On the way back, they come to a river. And at the river's edge, there's a boatman with a little boat. He's just hanging around, and they walk up to him, and the boatman says, what are you guys up to? Oh, we're from the north. Our guru said we had to go to the south and visit that temple. It was great. We're so happy. We're going back to report to him. So the boatman says, okay, very good. Have a nice journey. So the head man looks at the other 9 and says, can everybody swim? And everyone says, yes, we're expert. We can all swim. He says, all right, jump in the water. We're swimming to the other side. So they all jump in. They swim to the other side. When they get to the other side, the head monk looks around. He says, hold it. I got to check. I'm going to make sure everybody made it across. And he goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God, the 10th monk is missing. He says, don't panic. Everybody, I want you to count. Everybody does the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now they're all crying. He said, no, split up. He said he can swim. We're going to find the 10th monk. So one half goes this way, the other half goes this way, and they're looking under the bushes. They're picking up rocks. They're trying to find this 10th man. They come back a couple hours later, and he said, not a trace. There's nothing. What? And they begin sobbing, especially the head monk. He's in trouble now because he's got to tell Guruji what happened. So they're sobbing, and the boatman sees this, what's going on. He gets into his boat, he gets over to the other side, and he says, what's the problem? You guys were so happy. He says, oh, you don't understand. We lost the 10th monk. He's gone. And the boatman does a quick count. He says, you say you came 10? Yes. You say you're 9? Yes. Don't worry. I will produce the 10th man. Oh, what? When I die and go to heaven? No, no, no. I'm going to produce the 10th man right here, right now. Okay, well, if that's the case, go ahead. He said, I just want you to do one last thing, please. Count one more time. And he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's the 10th man? And the boatman looks at him. He goes, you are the 10th man. Those words, those very words, the 10th man was found. It was just a misconception. Once they thought the 10th man was gone, no matter how much they looked, how far they looked, how hard they looked, it wasn't until somebody pointed out the fact. In the same way, that happiness that we're looking for, the freedom that we're looking for, the peace that we're looking for, we're already that. But unless somebody points it out to you, you take yourself to be, I am this, and this is mine. The whole spiritual life is taking our minds, which are naturally extrovert. Everybody, we're wired, hardwired. The mind is out, the senses are out. I want money, I want sex, I want good food, I want to enjoy, and I'm out. As long as that mind is out, looking for happiness, looking for peace, looking for freedom, looking for immortality, he's like the 10th man. Because what he's looking for, he's already that. But unless it's pointed out that you are the ever-present consciousness that's always there, that's never hidden, it's always shining, it lights up everything. You can't think it away. That's everyone's experience. It's not like that I have some special experience or some guru somewhere in the Himalayas. Everyone's experience right now, if you examine it, they call that thing that is aware of your thoughts the Sakshi in Sanskrit, the Direct Seer. How do you see from that consciousness? Do you have eyes? How do you see the dream? Do you see it with these eyes? You light up the whole dream with no eyes. You're the light in which all things are shining. You light up the light and you light up the darkness. Beyond light and darkness. It's always present. You can intuit this fact here and now. There's no other spiritual life. It's not a question of chanting a mantra or getting a new Indian name or shaving your head or whatever. That's the real essence of the whole thing. As long as the mind is extrovert, this thing is gone. The second you introvert your mind, there's nothing so close, so obvious, so direct. It's your own self. The one thing you can't negate. Try. No space, no galaxies, no planet, no friends, no microphone, no body, no senses, no mind, no ego. That whole negation is taking place in the light of consciousness. When it's all gone, how do you know that it's gone? Because you're the witness in which there's nothing appearing. On the basis of your own experience, you say, I'm not aware of anything. It's not an inference. You didn't logically determine that. It's your direct experience. In fact, if you examine your experience, you'll see that you only have two types of experience. Either you're aware of something, or you're not aware of anything. There's only two. If there's a third type, please raise your hand. So, if that's the case, when I'm awake, I'm aware of something. When I'm dreaming, I'm aware of something. When I'm hallucinating, I'm aware of something. When I'm hypnotized, I'm aware of something. When I'm daydreaming, I'm aware. That's all, I'm aware of something. And what's the other state? I'm not aware of anything. Like what? If someone hits me in the head with a bat, I'm in a coma. I wasn't aware of anything. If I faint, I'm not aware of anything. Suppose I'm a yogi and I get samadhi, I'm not aware of anything. Or normal people, they go to sleep every night, I'm not aware of anything. Those are the two. And if you examine it closely on the basis of your own experience, you'll see that I'm aware when I'm aware of something, and I'm aware when I'm not aware of anything. I am eternal awareness. I'm aware of time and space, so I'm not in time or space. The object can never be the subject. They're like light and darkness, but everybody has mixed them up. Even though I'm the witness, I take myself to be the witnessed. If you examine, you'll see it's just a misconception. I've taken the subject to be the object from the point of view of my own experience. So I'll just say something a little practical about this. So, okay, I'm the witness, that's good, but Bless Fest is gonna be over soon and I gotta get my car, I don't know where I parked, and what's all of this about? So the whole spiritual life, in fact, if you want to call it a spiritual life, is the life that allows you to move in that direction. Means what? To think about that, to read about that, to meditate on that. That's called bhakti, by the way. When the mind turns away from enjoying all the temporary stuff that we can get, and even for a little while, makes that inward turn to see that witnessing consciousness. Has anyone heard of the Bhagavad Gita? It's one of the most famous spiritual texts. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramiti abhidiyate etat yoveti tam prahu kshetrajna tadvidaha. That's the first verse of the 13th chapter. It says, hey Arjuna, this body is like a field, right up to the ego. It's all a field, kshetra. But there's the knower of the field. The wise people know that knower of the field. That's the first verse. The second verse says, Kshetrajna chapi mam vidi sarva kshetreshu bharata. That witness in you, is Krishna. That is the Supreme Being. He says, know that witness, Kshetrajna chapi mam vidi, know that to be me. That witness lighting up your thoughts is God. That's the God of the Gita. The light, that light that lights up all of your thoughts right now, that's Krishna. The word Krishna is funny. It means Krish, the earth, na. That which is not of the earth is Krishna. That witness. He tells us, that's who I am, Arjuna. The next verse says, Shetra Shetra Nyor Jnanam Etat Jnanam Matam Mama. That knowledge of who's the witness and what's the witnessed, that's what I consider to be the knowledge. That's the knowledge that frees us from what's called samsara. Once I realized that, the ignorance of thinking that I'm a sukhi dukkhi samsari, sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes in pain. I am eternal bliss. I can see that as a fact, not because some guru said it, not because some ancient text said it, but because it's a matter of my own direct experience here and now. Not a magical thing, not something that I have to, because whatever experience, if you see 1,000 suns, or you feel the kundalini goes, whatever it is, that's just, I'm aware of something. It doesn't, and the other is samadhi or deep sleep or faint or moksha. I'm not aware of anything. The Upanishads say like this, that which can't be known by the mind, but that by which the mind itself is said to be known. Know that to be Atman. Atman means the self. And not what they meditate on as this. It's not that candle that you're meditating or Shiva or a mantra. That light that's lighting up that thought that can't be known. The knower of knowing can't be known. What you're looking for is what's looking. It's the subject that can never be objectified. When you go home tonight and you put that cover over your head and you're ready to go to sleep and you think, what did that guy say? What was he doing? And then that's it. It'll all go, but you don't go. You're the witness of the states, beyond the states. You're the witness of all your thoughts, beyond all thoughts. You're the unchanging consciousness. That's non-dual Vedanta. You are the only reality because you never change. The Bhagavad Gita says, Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. That which is real never changes. And that which is changing can't be real. If you use that as the criteria for reality and see in your own experience what's changing and what's not changing, then you'll see what's real and what's unreal. It's yourself that never changes. When you were young, that same witness was lighting up all those teenager thoughts. As you became an adult, now you're lighting up the adult thoughts. If you were lucky enough to reach my age, you're lighting up the old thoughts. It's the same witness, the thoughts are changing. That's the self of Vedanta. You are that. You'll always be that. Even if you don't know it, that's the good news. You're still that. But if you don't know it, you seem to suffer because you take yourself to be what you're not. Once you do that, this identification with this body is so thick that when we leave this talk, the witness will be 1,000,000 miles away. You won't even remember what I said about it. So for that idea of that witnessing consciousness to sink into you, to make it not just an intellectual appreciation, but something that's an immediacy, like the berry on the palm of your hand, as direct as that consciousness, that's what's required, because once you take your stand in the witness, then this becomes just like a dream. And nothing in a dream can really affect you. You become free from the appearance. You feel that in your heart, in your conviction. Not as a blind faith, but as a recognition you've discovered something. And nobody could ever contradict that, because the person who tries to contradict it is appearing in yourself. The Gita says, Ekatma sarva bhuteshu, that one self is the same in everybody. There's only one self in all beings. That witness in me is the witness in you. My mind is different than your mind. My experiences are different than yours. But that witness that's lighting up my mind is not in time or space, so there can't be many. And the witness that's lighting up your mind, it's kind of like one space. And in the cups, there's little spaces. There's just one space. There's not many little cup spaces. But if you look at it from the point of view of the cup, then there's a big cup space and a little cup space, and the cup space is moving. But really, there's just one space in all the cups. Even the wall of the cup is in space. You can't divide space. But because we associate that witness with this, then myself is this, yourself is that, and we don't have the same self. But as soon as I see myself as the witness, the Gita says, he who sees himself in all beings, and all beings in himself, they're all appearing in me. The guru, the students, the teaching, it's all appearing in me. And I pervade the whole thing. I'm the warp and woof of it. My consciousness is the very being. Look at the dream. It's appearing to me. If I take away my consciousness, what happens to the dream? It can't exist for a moment without that consciousness. The consciousness is giving being to it. It's pervading it. That's called Vishnu. You've heard of Vishnu? Vishnu means the all-pervading reality. That consciousness that's pervading your waking and dream is Vishnu. That's the Vishnu. He's not some guy with 6 arms somewhere. The Vishnu is that all-pervading consciousness in you. That's the Shiva, not the guy at Kailash with the bull. Shiva is that auspiciousness, Mangalam. That peace is Shiva. That quietude is Shiva. That's the Shiva of non-duality. He's Ganesha, Gana Isha. Gana is the body. Isha is the Lord. That witness that's inside you is called Gana Isha, Ganesha. That's the real Ganesha, not the guy with the trunk and the one tusk. That's the Puranika Ganesha. But there's a deeper meaning to all of these. They're all pointing to that one consciousness in which everything appears. They call it Brahma. In which everything abides. They call it Vishnu. In which everything merges. They call it Shiva. It's one reality. Whatever appears has no existence apart from that reality. The truth of that is nothing but that reality. There's only one reality without a second. That's called Ekam Advitiyam. That's the spirituality of the Upanishads and Vedanta. And what I think I'll do is I'll end it like that, and we'll just maybe have 5 or 10 minutes if anybody has any questions about anything that I just said. Yes.